Hello, hello, yes, there we go. Hello everybody, how are y'all doing? I am pretty lethargic today, I'm not gonna lie. It's one of those days. Also, my camera is like... Hold on, let me fix my camera. Looks like I'm frowning constantly. I don't know why, I feel so tired today. Maybe it's just because I haven't got to my usual amount of activity yet. So I still feel like I just rolled out of bed or something. I don't know. It's a Monday, it's Monday type vibes, you're right. I'm like so slow today. I like barely started stream on time. Technically I'm late, yeah. It took me so long just to even transition scenes. I don't know. I just feel so freaking tired, man. But we gotta get work done today. We gotta get work done anyways. Conic Wolf, thank you for the follow.
Conigwolf15 is now following.
Oh, so yeah, I don't know why my model is constantly frowning, no matter how hard I try to smile. No, it's not working. Why is it not working? I am trying my best to smile here, but my model does not want to smile. It is so depressed. Maybe if I shift it over a little. I'm trying my best to smile here. Hold on. Maybe if I recalibrate it. Well, I think the eye spasms is when he's trying to smile. It is. I'm trying my best to like smile with a fucking... I have to use my hands in order to force out a smile. Yeah. Lower the points? I tried. I haven't changed anything since the last stream. But I don't know. I guess we're just depressed limit today. Nothing I can really do about it right now. I mean, there is something I could do about it, but I'm too lazy to do something about it. Man is depressed? I guess we are depressed today. You know what? Fine. Let me do a quick edit to the model. Where is mouth form? Mouth smile. It's so weird. Okay. Input limit range. Do like 0.5 to negative 0.5. How about that? How's this? Okay. It's a little bit better. I can at least smile now, but barely. We'll lower it a little bit further now again. 0.25 to negative 0.75. Oh, there we go. We're smiling by default. Oh my god, we're so much happier. But I can't really frown anymore. I guess that's fine, because like whenever I speak, it turns into like the biggest frown possible. Maybe you have your lips inverted? My bad. Let me just flip my mouth upside down really quick. Alright, there we go. I think this should be good. Alright. Today we are going back and taking a look at tool calling, but this time for personal Vita. So we're going to approach tool calling through MCP, and if you remember anything from when I first implemented MCP for Project JAISON, this might take a little bit. I feel like the way I did things the first time around for the MCP servers wasn't the greatest, but maybe this time around we can get something a lot cleaner, right? Because every time we do a refactor, things look a little bit cleaner. At least that's the hope, right? Maybe this time we can actually make use of some Pydantic models in order to clean up the code, but I don't know. On top of that though, I also do want to play around with structured inputs and specifically using OpenAI for structured outputs. It should be the same thing for Llama CPP as well for when we do switch over to a locally ran model. However, just running with OpenAI right now just seems to be the simpler solution. And so, looks like we're gonna have to make or add OpenAI, at least just one microservice. You're done with your therapy call? That seemed quick. I feel like this is just gonna be a lot of copy paste from Project JAISON's code though. Because to be honest, I don't really feel like rewriting all the code for an MCP client in Python. I mean, it isn't too bad. Alright, let me switch scenes. Oh, I didn't even pull up the timer. Hold on, let me pull that up. Here we go. You've been in it since 2? Alright, transition. I've started the scene. Not gonna leak anything, right? Let's close this environment. Yep, okay. So, how we're gonna approach this is, unlike the prompter, which has a fast API microservice that isn't going to be used in production, the MCP client / servers, they're all going to be a different process. And so the main orchestrator that's going to tie in Mellow, the prompter, Whisper, and the Llama CPP servers, it's not going to be like the prompter where it's integrated directly as a class inside of the main orchestrator, but we're going to have the client as a separate server, right? Because if you remember from the prompter last stream, where I talked about my plan for the format of the prompt that I plan to use in Llama CPP, you'll remember that I have this possible action response from JAISON. And this action response, I want to use this as the main input to the MCP client microservice. And this MCP client microservice will be in charge of running all the tool calls, collecting all the tool call results, and then returning the results back to JAISON as extra context that will be spoken out by the narrator. All right, so it's going to be a very basic microservice, all things considered, but at the end of the day, the main point I'm trying to say is that this is going to be a microservice. And so, like all the other microservices, we need to follow the structure, the project structure that we have for it. So we're going to call this MCP we're just going to call this MCP client server. And we're going to copy over the content from Mellow and fix you up. Before that though, we need to make the quick edits to config like before. So we have, what is this, MCP server. MCP client server, yes, that's all good. And this will be MCP client server. There we go. That's all good. Let's add this to our configuration here. And we'll give you the port of 9004. The rest of this should be fine for now. Okay. Then we can come over to the server and create a new one called MCP Client. And copy paste the content of, once again, Mellow, because that one's easier. All right. We'll come back and fix this up in a moment. We'll first make the MCP client under model here. MCP client.py. Okay. And for the MCP client, we can just copy paste the code we have from Project JAISIN. Operations, no, it was under MCP. MCP manager, here we go. Copy, paste, there we go. This is about 350 lines of shit that we need to now trudge through and refactor. What do we have here? So the main flow of this, if you'll remember, is that when this gets initialized and started for the first time, we need to load all of the MCP servers we have available to us. The MCP servers that we have available to us, they were listed under a separate configuration or a separate list. We might add that to the configuration here as well as a list. So like MCP servers, and then it's going to be some sort of list, right? Maybe we'll have something like that. And the MCP manager is in charge of starting up all of these MCP servers and collecting the metadata, the input data, formatting them into a singular prompt meant for a tool calling prompt, as well as for context for JAISIN to make use of, right? So we technically need two descriptions. One for the tooling prompt in order to explain what the tool is used for, as well as what the output should be structured like, as well as a prompt for JAISIN, the personality side, to understand it, how to make use of this tool or what kind of capabilities it has in a more natural language kind of setting, as opposed to like JSON, for example. I guess a good place to start then is by figuring out the initialization of MCP manager, or I guess I should call this the MCP client. The MCP manager is probably better because MCP client would refer to the individual that refers to a singular MCP server. So for the client, we have, when we initialize it, async load as MCP. What are we awaiting here? Client start. Does this have any awaits either? A enter? Server generator? I guess it is asynchronous. Client session. stdio client dot a enter. Okay, I guess this is asynchronous then this does need to be in the format it is right now, right? Because in order for us to create the context through the MCP Python package or the Python library, they're making use of coroutines here. So we're forced to use asynchronous functions, which means we do need to have this separate start here. For the clients string to MCP client. Yeah, I think this is fine. I think the format that I want to approach this is, let me pull up the temporary text file here. The output that was generated by J.E. Eisen would look something like this. The response would be something like search internet. So this would be the name of the tool that we want to use, followed by a valid JSON, right? Query how to make an AI VTuber. And then the script would go through, it would parse out that this line is specifically for searching the internet. And then it will take the JSON after that to be used as input to the MCP server. And you can have as many of these as you want in a singular response. Each new line is just a new query, right? But I kind of want to change this up so that instead of having each new line be a new query, I want this all to be, I guess, not so volatile to new line characters, and instead have this all be a singular JSON. So we'll have a higher level, I guess, attribute called tools. And then this is just going to be a list, and in this list is going to be a series of objects, but it's going to start off with the name of the tool, so something like search internet, followed by the actual query. And so this way we can easily parse out what the name is as well as what the input should be without having to do all this regex. We can just make use of the JSON package built into Python, right? This also makes it sure that even if we do have a new line character here, it isn't going to mess up the parsing of the inputs such that it would think that it looks something like this, and then it would fail to parse out this line as well as fail to parse out this line, right? We want to kind of avoid that situation. So putting it all as one structure input that isn't dependent on new lines is much more robust. But that will mean we will need a, what's it called? One thing that we will need to be doing today is making the actual JSON schema to define something like this and do it dynamically depending on the MCP servers that we do have loaded, which is going to be the most complicated part of today. But let's just take it one step at a time, shall we? The first thing we do, we just initialize a dictionary of clients. This will be a string to MCP clients. What we essentially want to happen is when we get the input, so the input will be something like, I want to search the internet, then add the results, or no, then check my memories for how to make an AI VTuber. let's say this is what JAISIN put as its action and we sent this over to the server. The first thing that we want to do is send this to the tool calling LLM, and this will generate a JSON with tools array. Then we parse out the tools array for each tool in tools array. Select the right server based on name, and then call the tool with the given input. This is all probably going to happen sequentially. I'm not too sure though. Or this can all happen at the same time. You know, we'll make it all happen at the same time. We'll have it all happen in parallel. All tools called in parallel. This way, because the feedback loop of results to next tool call should be handled by JAISIN, the personality side itself, and not actually the MCP manager in my architecture at least, right? Because JAISIN will not know the results that come back, and so she shouldn't be trying to come up with a step-by-step plan that is dependent on previous results. At least in a singular action query. And I'm gonna fine tune her in a way that makes sure that she doesn't do that. This just makes things a lot simpler for me and also speeds up the execution time for more complex actions where she wants to do multiple things at the same time, right? So instead of checking the internet, waiting for the results of that to come back after like a couple milliseconds, and then going off to search her memories again for a couple milliseconds, it would be a lot better if we can effectively cut our time in half by just having her do the internet search as well as the memory check at the same time. And then if the narrator comes back and says, we didn't get any results, then she can come up with an extra plan after that. Hey gamers, how's it go? Wait, since when does Limit have eyebrows? Ever since Fire Eagle gave them to me about a week ago. Yeah, eyebrows are nice. I can do like a eyebrow wiggle. Ooh. I don't know, I can't it's so hard to operate this model because everything is either too sensitive or not sensitive enough. Like, I have a hard time just trying to There's okay, you can see the upper eyebrows whenever I raise my eyebrows, but whenever I lower them or narrow them, you can't see them, even though they do exist. I just need it's hard. I've never been able to get it consistent. All right, once this comes back, we just return the results. Or no, summarize the results and return summary back, or return default message if no tools were called. Yep, that's good. So this is just for when everything is set up, but what do we have to do for setup? So on request. What about for on setup? And that just proves I don't actually watch the streams. Most attentive Limit Can't Code viewer. So on setup, we need to first start all MCP processes and store client in dictionary. Then we need to get the tool spec or tools from each server and track per server. We then need to get all tool descriptions, including one for personality and one for tooling, and the structured output spec. Then we need to turn this all into the capabilities. List of capabilities is just a list of strings, one for each capability. So we don't necessarily have to turn it into one giant piece of text before returning that back to the user. What we do care about is the one for tooling. The one for tooling, I don't know. It can also be one giant blob, I guess. The structured output spec. Hold on. Turn descriptions into prompts. For personality, it's just a list of descriptions. And for tooling, mega text of descriptions. Plus tool calling task description. Plus output spec. And then we also need to take the structured output spec, turn structured output specs, and make a JSON schema for OpenAI. This is going to be the hard part for today because I have no idea how to approach this. Turning the... Okay, yeah, that's going to be difficult. And last but not least, I think that should be it. Because we get the JSON schema, we need that for generation. We get the prompt, we need that for generation. And we get the... That's all fine. Honestly, yeah, that's all fine. That's all good. So we've got quite a bit we need to do today, it seems. Okay, first thing I want to do, let us actually add OpenAI really quick. Gotta activate personal Vita. UV pip install OpenAI. Oh shit, we're already on version 1.107. Crazy. Okay, operation manager, we don't have this, we don't have this. We don't have prompter as well. Oh, that should be fine. Let's import from OpenAI. Import async OpenAI. I believe this is what we use, right? Let me just quickly check. JISON, T2T, OpenAI. Yes, we use async OpenAI. This allows us to make use of await and the coroutines. Coroutines. I kind of want... Wait, how is the sampler implemented here? Sorry, this is just all over the place because I don't know. I feel like making MCP clients are just infinitely harder than making MCP servers. Sampler, how the hell do we do this sampling? Handle sampling, 1 per client. Okay, we're gonna have to make a separate class. That's a singleton that can be shared across all the different MCP clients for sampling purposes, as well as the MCP manager itself in order to make use of for the tool calling LLM. So let's come over here and let's say class open a, or actually, can't I just call it a, no. Yes, no, yes, yes. Okay, class, class reasoning LLM. Def init. Self dot client is equal to async OpenAI. I don't care about the base URL because this is my own version. And then whenever I call it, I'm gonna take in the system prompt, the user prompt, and the JSON schema, I guess. JSON schema. I'm just gonna do something with this. Is there anything else I need? I guess if I do need something else from this, I'll just add it here later. Because we don't necessarily, I guess model. No, we're just gonna configure the model ourselves. Self.model is equal to config.get. Oh, we also need to import the config. Util.config, import config, as well as config groups. I don't have a global variable, right? Yeah, okay, that's fine. Holy, our streamer can smile now? Bro, I got plastic surgery, what can I say? Actually looking like the least depressed programmer streamer now. Kinda crazy. My mind is so out of it right now. I cannot think straight. You got 50 shots of vodka? That's the only way you can get me smile, I swear. Exploding head. I actually can't think straight. I can't think of what I'm doing for like longer than 10 seconds before I get derailed in my own train of thought and just start thinking to myself like, wait, what the fuck was I doing again? Okay, we set up the model. I need to actually make the model call. I can just copy paste that from my old code. We don't need this to be streamed either, so I could probably just pull it from somewhere else. You know, it's fine. Result is equal to what? Await self.client chat.completions.create. We need to find what the history is. We need to build that using system prompt and user prompt here. It shouldn't be too hard. In fact, I can probably just do it right now. This will be role system, and the content of this is just system prompt. And then whatever this is after it is the user prompt with their own content. I don't know how to specify the JSON schema though. Oh yeah, this also needs to be asynchronous. Okay, messages is equal to history. Like this should just be messages. We're not actually dealing with conversation history here. Model is equal to self.model. We don't care about streaming. We don't care about temperature, top P, presence penalty, frequency penalty. None of that really matters to us. What we do care about is JSON schema though. And for this, we need, I guess we'll pass in JSON schema. I don't know what the JSON schema is actually supposed to look like. OpenAI JSON schema. Structured outputs guide. We'll need to look through this during this stream at some point. I did do a preliminary read of this, which is how I got the idea for using structured outputs to begin with, but I still don't understand how to actually format this. I believe there might be a Pydantic way of doing it, and if there is, it would be a lot nicer. But that would require me to, what's it gonna be? Actually, no, I think that would be easier to set up. I just don't know what normal JSON schema looks like to begin with. I mean, like, I get the JSON schema standard. I just don't know what it should look like for OpenAI standard, at least. Structured outputs, yes. Adheres to schema, supported schemas, platform, number Boolean, and they have their entire spec here, and then this is what it should look like. So name, user, data, schema. And then we got a bunch of regex. I do not want to have to fucking specify this myself. You know, we're just gonna use Pydantic. I think it's easier. Is it possible for me to get the MCP spec directly as a Pydantic from the MCP library? If so, that saves me a lot of work. We'll figure that out in a moment. But we'll just pass on the JSON schema. I don't know what this is going to be yet. For now, I'll just call this some sort of base model. And then this will be a string, this will be a string. That's all good. We get back the result, and we just want to return the result of this, right? The result being results.choices, the first one, dot, fuck man, I can never remember what it's supposed to be. Hold on a second, can't I? I'm just gonna pull up a different project because I have a ton of other projects where I just use
Steam.
Check Steam, bro. I don't want to have to check Steam right now. I'll check Steam in a moment. Did you like buy me Peak or something? Do you really want me to play Peak with you guys that bad? Testing. Ooh.
Yes.
I figured. Like I said, I'm probably not gonna play or touch Peak. At least not this month. At least not until these 20 days are over. Where is the demo? I think it's demo. Demo.
I gifted you it, so you gotta play once.
I'll play it once, fine. I'll play it once. I'll play it once just because you got it for me. Let's go. This is the one time you get it from me. There we go. Message content. This is what it should return. And honestly, this should be it. We just need to make this a singleton now so it can be used across. In fact, we don't even need this to be a singleton, but whatever, let's just do it out of principle. util.metaclass import singleton, and then metaclass is build a singleton. Yay. All right, this means now inside of our sampler, our sampler can, ooh. Oh, I just remembered what the complication with sampler was. I was paid $6 for it. My God. Thank you, thank you. I mean, yeah, I will play at some point, probably within the 20 days, because it's not like going to be working 24/7. But I just want to focus on working on JEISON as much as possible in the next like couple days. I remember what the complication with handling sampling message is, because handling sampling message, there were two functionalities to this. The main and intended purpose for it was to run normal text-to-text models in order to generate LLM outputs without having to run in their own models within the servers, right? The client is typically running their own LLM model, and so these servers are calling back up to the client in order to reuse the client's loaded LLM to make like LLM summaries or whatnot, right? But the problem with this that we did face before was that our memory module was trying to make use of embeddings as well. And we want to be able to share this embedding models across MCP servers as well, because embedding models also take up quite a bit of space inside of VRAM. And so we needed a way to parse between the text-to-text as well as the embedding types. And we do this here, right? In a very kind of sketchy way. I guess for now, I'll pass on this part. Or raise not implemented error. But this is something that I will need to come back and implement in the future when I do return to making memory. Also, I spent a long time last night. I spent a long time in bed last night, not actually sleeping, but doing research into figuring out how to properly do memory management, because even though we've done all the memory management streams and looked at like vector databases or graph databases and all that stuff, even though we have all that technology and we've proven that it can work for memory, there is still the problem of deciding when we want to chunk memories and deciding what we want to store dynamically in real time. That is like the main problem, and if we don't manage that properly, we'll end up with a problem where JEISON will abuse her memory system and just keep storing the same memories over and over and over and over again, even though when it's not really relevant, because she deems that it is relevant. And I've done some research and I found a solution for that. It's really hard for me to explain right now, but yeah, that's just a little side tangent. The response stream, we don't care about this. We care about the response being response LLM. Create that with the user prompt of message system prompt and messages 0 and the JSON schema, we'll figure that out in a moment. All of this though, we can get rid of. We'll return back the response and that is fine. Okay. The JSON schema we will need to build within the individual client itself. this part. Raise not implemented error, that's fine. Sampler encountered an issue, that's fine. I should raise the exception here instead. Raise error. Now get details. Fuck. Okay, that's created. Thank you, Shadows, for the tier 1 sub. Self.oai is equal to reasoning LLM. Keep that there as well. What's wrong with this? Unexpected indentation. Oh, wait, is it coming from here? No. Yes, okay, there we go. Okay, when we start now, I don't care about the configuration. But I do care about the mcp.get from config group dot MCP Client server, the MCP servers. That's what we called it, right? MCP servers. So for each one within the MCP servers, I don't know what I'm gonna put for it. What am I gonna put in this list? MCP detail. I just don't want to duplicate it too much because we have the actual information for each of the MCPs here. So I'm thinking we just put the names of them. Yeah, we can just put the names of them like Discord MCP, VTS MCP, and Twitch MCP, like so. And it will just take the names and then pull the configuration out because this is a global configuration file, right? So this will just be MCP name. And we'll call load MCP on this name. This name will just be a string, and we'll load up the configuration for it from enum or label config label is equal to config groups with the MCP name. If this fails, then it will raise an error. That's good. Otherwise, we can use this label to extract some specific information out of it, such as the file path. File path, or execute command, or something like that. I don't fucking know. What do we need? We need the command, we need the arguments, and we need the key current working directory, as well as the environment. The environment is OS.environment, that's fine. The ID is just going to be the name. MCP detail ID. No, this is just going to be the name, MCP name. MCP name. There we go. MCP detail, MCP detail. This is just going to be command args keyword current working directory. command, args, current working directory. Yeah, okay. Config. No. Config dot get config label, and we want to get command. The same thing for the rest of these, args and current working directory. Also, yeah, I've decided I'm just going to move this environment file completely out and use its own, use a global.env, because honestly, I don't have a purpose for having all these individual .envs. All right, there we go. That's all good. Anything else we need to set up? No. Params is the standard IO server params. That's good. We set up an MCP client with the name and the parameters. Yes, and then we start the client and we cache the client. Okay, that's good for load MCP. When we load this MCP, we need to take the ID, we store the ID, the params, we take the params, and this should just generate it. Now, I do not care about resources, I do not care about templates. I'm just gonna get rid of those, because that overcomplicates a lot of things. Self.tool descriptions. And this is also just going to be a list, and I'll have a function. No, we'll just have tool prompt. That's fine. Cache it so we just save some calculation. Now, when we start this client, we take the params and we start a new standard IO client. This is coming from where? This is coming from the MCP package, yes. We get a server generator, we start up a new context, that is, I honestly don't care. Now that information, we open up the context in Python using the hidden function aEnter to get a read and write. Yes, read and write. I don't care about the read and writes, that's fine. That was for debugging originally. And then we create a new client session with some amount of timeouts. Do I care about this timeout at all? The read timeout. I guess I'll make this configurable as well. Config groups. The name of this being self.mcpid. And getting the timeout. The timeout. And then we can configure how long we want this timeout to be. As well as sampler being the sampling message. Callback we have here, that's fine. Okay, initialize session. Session aEnter, session initialized. Then we need to get details and create the details. To do. I need to remember how this works. Response prompt. We'll figure this out later. Close, that's fine. Honestly. Get details. We can get rid of resources and templates and just keep tools. And here we'll log out the problem logger. Logger.error being the Could not get detail or tool details. Could not get tool details for this server. And then we'll pass in the self.mcp ID, and we'll also output the exception info. Why do we pass though? I feel like we shouldn't be passing. I'll just raise error. If there's a problem, there's a problem. I'll figure that out. Get details. The details that we get. Okay, wait, just good. The tools is a list of tools. I want to actually, we don't need this. We can just return the list of tools themselves. Where do we use get details? We use it here. And then with that, we pass it into details to tool prompt. Details to tool prompt is a helper function we have up here. And we're basically converting tools. Here we go. I want to strip out the individual tooling prompts or tooling descriptions from this function. So we're going to call this MCP tools to list. We can ignore the resources and templates once again, but for tool and tools, we're going to take out the name, the description, the input schema, and the prompt. And for this, we can just return back. We actually don't care about the prompt here. We just care about these. And so the MCP, the description list. Just make this a list, and then we can import, or not import, append to this list a dictionary with all of the necessary information we want. We have the name, the tool name, we have the description and the input schema, dump s, load s, dump s. Oh, no, this already works. This format already works for us, so we don't really care about that. We'll take the MCP tools to prompt, and instead we'll say honestly, what it was before, it was fine. Prompt, and then include the prompt here. Yes, this is honestly fine, I feel like. We include the name, we include the description, and then we include the input schema. We already specified. This is perfect. This is just going to be to prompt. So we have self-tool prompt, yes, and self-tool descriptions. Self.tool descriptions, we'll have it like so. This will be an object with list of objects with name, description, and input schema. Yes. Tool descriptions. Oh, wait. There we go. For tool names, however, we still need to make this. So we got tool descriptions. We got tool prompts. We need tool name. And in fact, I don't want to call this tool descriptions. We'll just call this tools. And so from tools, we can iterate through the list to be like tool.name or tool in self.tools. So this will extract the names from each and every single one of the tools in that list. And so we are able to now check within this list of names directly in order to figure out if this server is responsible for a given tool or not. Tool prompt, MCP tools to prompt. Pass in the tools here, and that should be good now. Yeah, I think that should be good. But the only thing now is, where am I even calling? Where am I even making use of this server, the client session? I initialized the session, yeah, but how am I calling it? How am I making requests to it? Get tooling prompt, close MCP, use. We search through the clients, and then we go client.session.callTool. Oh, I see, I see. Nah, let's refactor this a little. I'm moving the calling logic into the actual client themselves, and this is going to be a default like call method. What's the input to this though? The input would be input, no. Tool name is a string, and the input is just a dictionary of some sort. This is asynchronous as well. So we'll go through our clients and we'll pick out this specific client here. And with this client, it has its own session, which we'll call the tool call like so. Arguments, yes, like this. And then we can return the results like so. Parse tool result, parse tool result. Where is this coming from? Text result, image, yes, yes, yes. Okay. This is just a parser. We can return the parsed result, and that should be all. And when we come back down to use, we don't care about the resource names. We don't care about the template over here. Template. Why is this so much more complicated than like resource or tool name? Parse tool results. URI template formatting. I guess whatever. We can just get rid of all of that. Tool name is inside of tool names. Yes. I'm gonna make a new function called this isTool. Result is equal to await. What is this? Tool input. Okay. we no longer need to call these two. We need a new function called isTool. Get details, define isTool. And we want to return whether or not this tool name is inside of self.toolnames. Very simply, just for readability's sake. Response prompt. Okay. What other complications here do we have? Going through each of the clients, that's fine. At the very end, I want to check if results is none. If result is equal to none, then I want to raise an exception saying tool not found. Okay. Otherwise, result list on append tool name and results. I don't know. I'll come back to this use part in a bit. I'm jumping ahead. So we've started all the MCP processes and stored them inside a dictionary. We got the tools and kept track of each server. We've got to the tool description, one for personality and one for tooling. We'll figure that out in a moment. Turn descriptions into prompts plus output spec. Yes. Now, last but not least, we need to create the output schema. We need to create the output schema from all of the inputs or from all of the tool descriptions that we just retrieved for each of the clients. Look, how the hell are we going to do this? Oh my god. I need to be able to make a pydantic model dynamically, is the problem. After we start every single one. Okay, what we get back from each of the clients, so clients dot tool dot description, basically. No, not description, dot input schema. This is a dictionary, right? We want to turn this dictionary into kind of a different dictionary where it's kind of like tool name to that input schema. How can I do this? Let me just search up pydantic. No. JSON to JSON schema to identic model. Data model code generator. It's just another dependency I don't want to have to make. Actually, maybe I don't need to use Pydantic. Maybe I can just work with the strings as is. I mean, I'll need to change it for when I use Llama CPP because that uses a different set of rules. But I should be able to just create. I should just be able to take the input schema as a string and nest this into my own. I guess I can nest this into my own dictionary of things. So it would be the schema would look like, what are we gonna call it? Tools, which is an array of things here, and this will be the tool. Limit DMs. All right, fine. What'd you send? Huh? All day? Plays Umas at least 3 times a day? Brother, I log in to check shit, not to actually play. And besides, it takes like 5 minutes out of my day. Also, what is this? What in the fuck?
Thank you so much for the sub. Oh my god, guys.
Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the sub. Who subbed? Ah, Shadows. Wait, what? I swear you subbed like 10 years ago. Wait, are you guys getting like employee discounts on subs now? What the fuck is going on? Bro's getting 33% off on subs. Oh, you changed to 6 months. Ah. Thank you, Shadows. 40 extra discount. We're saving money. We're scamming Twitch with this one. Now they're gonna start rolling even more mid-roll ads on my streams. Tool name, then schema, input, put schema. This is what we kind of generally want it to look like, and this is going to be a list of them, right? So they're going to have different names, different input schemas. So we'll basically need to generate like options. It generates this tool name and this schema, or it generates some other tool name and that other schema. The thing is, I am not familiar with JSON schemas at all. So this is a little fucked for me. Model JSON schema, model JSON schema. Because this is what I'm looking at right now. Right? Generating JSON schema. They're generating it from existing models, not from dynamically created models. Customizing JSON schema generation process. Oh my god. JSON schema. Let me just do a quick check on OpenAI and how they can make use of Pydantic. So in addition to supporting JSON schema in the REST API, the OpenAI SDKs for Python and JavaScript also make it easy to define OpenAI schemas using Pydantic and Zod. I don't really care, I care about the Pydantic. Below, you can see how to extract information from unstructured text that conforms to a schema defined in code. Calendar event is following this model, but we need to generate this model in the first place. Oh my god. Hold on. There has to be a way to create a model from a JSON schema and not the other way, not just the other way around. Generate Pydantic model from JSON schema. Data model code generator. What are you? The data model code generator project is a library and command line utility. I don't want that. I don't want this. God. Oh. There's really no other way. Dynamically generating Pydantic model from a schema. Brace your eyes. Oh my god, light mode. I want to dynamically generate a Pydantic model at runtime. I can do this by calling create model, for example. My model int I do this same thing as this. I want to serialize these Pydantic models as JSON. It's easy to write code to parse JSON into create model arguments, and it would make sense to use the input schema JSON, since that already defines the serialization format. Said he didn't want to pursue this feature for Pydantic. Fuck, man. Fuck. Okay, fine. We'll figure some other way. If we go the approach of using JSON schema as opposed to Pydantic models, then it'll be easier for us to integrate with Llama CPP later, so I guess I might as well take the hard way out. Yay. Okay, how do we specify JSON schemas? JSON schema. I heckin' love JSON. JAISON. The JSON schema. Okay, no. What does their input schemas even look like? Looks like something like this, right? User data strict true schema. Bruh. Properties. Name. Username. Email. Schemas. Structure output supports the JSON schema language. They support string, number, boolean. Okay, I don't care about that. In addition to specifying the type of property, you can specify the selection of additional constraints, such as a pattern, a format. I want one of or multiple of. Supported number properties, array properties, min items, max items. AI making AI, let's go. Time, date, duration, email, hostname, UID. Brother. Oh my god, okay. Oh my god. I'm like, I know what I need to do, but it's like I don't want to do it. Please don't make me do this. And it's not even like they have an enum as well. Oh, they do have an enum, actually. An enum, an enum, an enum. What kind of enum do they accept, though? Need to check here. Reference. Enum, enum, enum. Enum and const. Can I have like enumerated schemas? This ensures that only predefined options are valid. Enumerated values, enum. No, no. Extended example, accepting multiple data types. Mixed data types. Can I use like or when specifying a JSON schema for OpenAI, can I let me check this out. Doug auction. What is this? Is it Neurocar? It is the Neurocar. Damn, current top bid for $1,010. Eesh. Tactic. I know you can buy that with your money. You'll have to buy that for us. Can I specify an enum of objects? No, damn it. How can I create an enum of objects such that the object has a set name value, but for each name value, a fixed schema associated with it? All right, let's see. One of, object one of. Title. I thought, oh wait, do they even, they don't support one of though. They have multiple of. One of. Does this work with OpenAI's API? Let's see if it says yes or no. Is one of open? I don't see that though. We'll try it. You know what? Screw it. Yeah, screw it. That's fine. Let's just make this shit. Schema is equal to this dictionary where we say name. The name is... Wait, name? No. Get weather. Name, get weather. Description fetches weather in the given location. Tools. Description. List of tools to call in order. Strict, true. I don't know what the strict part is for. Limitations on total size, limitations. What are schemas? Name user data, strict, true, strict. Oh fuck it, we're just gonna put strict, true. And this is gonna be one of type array, type array. Oh, we have any of. Oh, just any of. It's not called one of. Object, array. And with array, bro, I'm like so lost on this. Parameters, type object. I fucking hate this. I hate looking at JSON specs because I cannot make sense of it. Type object properties. Additional properties false, required item, yes, okay. Type object, type array. Fuck it. Where is array? Array is type array. Items. Instead of items, we have type object. Title. Do I give this title or do I give it name? I don't know. Why the fuck is it always different? Type, description, type, item of, any of, type, description. Ah, fuck it, we don't need a name, we'll just say description. Tool being called and its inputs. And the properties of this. Wait. Properties, items, any of. Oh, okay. I can do any of here. So this will mean it will select from one of these. And for each of these, I just have to specify what kind of object it is, right? Right. I'm hoping this will work. If some fucking how my stocks do well to where I'm back into green, from them, I will sell them all and put it into buying the Nero car. This is peak priorities right here. Why set myself up for financial success when I can just buy the Nero car? Think of how much its value is going to rise in the coming years. You know, this is going to be like an antique. In like 10 years times, 20 years times, this is going to be like some shit you can auction off for 10x its value because it's like a limited collector's item, you know? And it's like an antique. It's representative of our times. Gonna make a YouTube video out of it? Oh god. Properties, yes, properties. Properties is an array? No. A list of name or tool and this is going to be of type string. No, just going to be an enum. This is going to be an enum that contains the name here. Insert name, tool name, and we're going to have another one for input. And just going to be insert tool schema. Right. Additional properties false. Additional properties. Additional properties false. And required will be tool and input. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. We need to generate each one of these objects dynamically for each one of the tools. Okay. And that should work, right? I'm hoping it does. Schema, direct, tools, array. It's just so confusing to think about JSON schema. I need to like change how I think about JSON if this is what I'm trying to do. Okay, I know what I'm doing now. Description. No. This is an object. And inside of this object, we have properties. Inside of properties, we now have the name, description, and so on. Right. Ah, fuck it. Type object. I don't care about strict properties. Tools is one of the properties, and inside of it we're gonna have the description and it being strict true, and inside of it type is going to be of an array, and the items will be this. Yes. I'm so confused. Wait. Validate. Wait. This needs to be one more. Tools. We're still missing something somewhere. Oh, we're just missing commas. Missing something else. Where else are we missing? This all looks fine to me. Tools. This bracket was never closed. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. Oh, bracket was never closed. What is this guy yapping about? I zoned out. Don't worry. I don't expect anybody to follow along with what I'm doing because I don't know what I'm doing myself either. I'm just throwing shit at the wall and hoping that it works. Oh my god, I hate this, man. Being called and its object. Tool. Inputs. Additional properties. Bro, where is this broken? Why are you broken? Professional streamer, by the way? Who ever said I was professional? Since when was I ever a professional streamer? If I am the definition of professional, then we are all fucking doomed. Properties. Array. With tools. Is this an object? Yes, tools. Tools is then an array. With Brother, what am I looking at? I don't know where the problem is. I don't know where the problem is. What was never closed? I swear this is closed, no? Oh, this needs a comma, and now it's all fixed. I fucking hate JSON. I fucking hate JSON sometimes. This object. We don't want any additional properties, but we do want tools. Yes. That should be good. Okay. Now, okay, we just need to create this now. Dynamically. Create. Define. Generate. JSON schema. We need to return something like this. Oh my god. Okay, so the list of things that we need to create, list of tools, list of tools, list, tool list, tool schema list. Okay. Tool schema list. This is going to be a list, and we're going to iterate through every single one of the servers that we have. So for MCP name in self.clients, we're going to get the client and we're going to get the tools. So tools is equal to self.client.tools or self.clients. Get the MCP name dot tools. The tools that we get back, we can iterate through this. So for tool in tools, we can generate a schema from this tool to look something like this. There will be an object, tool being called and its input. Yes. The properties. We'll put in tool.name here. We'll also add tool.name to the actual tool here. And the input will be tool.input schema. The description here. Okay, why not? Tool.description. Right, there we go. So we're creating the schema. We're gonna append it to the list of tools that we have. So u.append. So now we have a list that we can throw into any of. So when we return, we're going to return this JSON here, but we're replacing this any of array with the tool schema list here. Perfect. Oh my God. That was so much more complicated than it needed to be. If I remember correctly, Ellie says some part is broken, like wheel blocks, I don't know. I would be surprised if it went the entirety of open source and made it out in one piece. Like, I swear there's gonna at least be a wheel falling off of that shit or something. You're paying for the novelty. You're not paying for like a polished product. Like, there's no way they're keeping the phone in there that's hooked up to Neurosama or anything. So you're not even gonna be able to get the luxury of riding around with Neurosama anyways. You know, it's purely a talking piece, you know? It's like art. Pay $1,000 for something to talk about. $200 in repairs after spending $2,000, and then you need to make an AI VTuber to even hook up to it. Just hook it up to Jay Eisen on it. When we start, schema that's equal to generate. Oh no. Just make an MCP server? True, just make an MCP server. Except I do not know their embedded interface for all of the controllers. I used the Neural car to make the Jay Eisen car. This is sacrilegious. This feels so wrong. We're defiling the face of Neural car with Jay Eisen car. Oh, the humanity. Put the train class to use, brother. At least with the train class, we got like some documentation that looked like it came out the 1990s. Okay, but for that shit ain't got documentation. That's their own bespoke shit. I don't know what tech they're using. I don't know what the controllers are using. If anything, I'll have to flash it and recode the entire thing myself. Easy. Yeah, totally easy, guys. Come on. MCP servers, that's fine. Load MCP servers, that's fine. Oh, the JSON schema, we have this now. What is it? Load MCP. We need the description. So self.tool description. Yes. Okay, hear me out. Plain JSON? What do you mean plain JSON? What do you mean plain? Bland JSON? Plain text JSON? You know, put JSON. Okay, okay. You used the wrong plane though, brother. 9/11, brother. We are not doing that with JSON. We are not leaving that kind of a legacy behind. First ever AI terrorist group. My mods. Good idea. Somebody quote that. Not a Twitch mod, so it's fine. Oh shit, I forgot to make you a Twitch mod. But... Since I'm in the process of already making the JSON schema, why don't I also add the name of the server? Yes, okay, hold on. I'm stupid, I should have done that. Server. This will be, not the tool, but the MCP name. Meaning, I can use the server to parse directly into the client. Yes, I should have done that to begin with. I'm so stupid. Client, client, client.
Limit, if Mokdig leaves, can I be mod?
If Mokdig leaves, can you be mod? I'll consider it. I'll consider it. The reason why I made Shadows mod so quickly, bro, he's been helping out so much inside of the questions channel. Like, before I even have a chance to even look at the question or like hop onto Discord and look at the fucking question, this guy's already on it. This guy is like peak moderator, peak helper of the community. So might as well make a mod. Hashtag tech support, hashtag tech support. The tech support consists with 3 people, but is effectively just 1. Who knows, maybe in 1 year's time, Shadows might know more about Project JSON than I do myself. We don't actually need you anymore. Parse, that's fine. I hope not. You never know, you never know. It'll be Project Shadows in 1 year time. Says the guy who codes with GPT. I don't think this guy even codes with GPT. Bro is not a coder. He's the true bona fide dictionary definition of a can't coder. He is the embodiment of the server. Project Vita Shadows Edition. It's gonna be Project Vita Community Edition. I'm gonna be like the Microsoft fucking CEOs of Microsoft products. We got Enterprise Edition. We got Community Edition. This is how I'm gonna make profit, bro. In 10 years time, I'm gonna start limiting features to Project Vita behind a paywall. This is the ultimate plan. Lemmy, you know that Shadows is just Beetle in disguise? I can see it. No, this guy is like evil Beetle. Beetle 2.0. Oh, hell no, microtransactions? I'll make it so it's like, I'll be generous. It will be pay per use, you know? I'll follow the OpenAI model. Every response you want to hear from your AI companion, $1. Pay up, bro. Shit ain't paying for itself. These AWS servers, this shit costs a lot. You know, this shit ain't running for free. Corpa clap. What the fuck am I doing? Getting tooling prompt. What are we doing for getting tooling prompt? I don't care about getting tooling prompt. I don't care about getting response prompt. What do we actually need to do? We've figured out the setup part. What about now? On request. Let's work this out. We first tool calls. Tool calls, tooling response, use tooling response. Wait, is it a tooling response? No. No. What we want is to take the input, so...
I knew you were evil. Step 1. Make program free and paid. Step 2. Make little by little the free features paid ones. Step 3. Step 4. Profit.
Bro, this is what I've been saying for like the past 5 years, but my friends don't believe me. Like, we went to Burger King one time at like 3 a.m. and I looked at my friend and I was like, you know, in the future, right now, sauces may be free, but in the future, they're gonna have like some sort of sauce shortage. They're gonna make up some sort of sauce shortage, and they're gonna be like, okay, nobody can actually get sauces anymore. It's gonna be paid for like a limited amount of time, but they're gonna say it's like a paid for a limited amount of time. But in reality, after a couple of years, we get so comfortable with this sauce shortage, like the ketchup and mustard shortage, that they start charging us for the actual sauces, and they never actually make that shit free again. So there's gonna be a future where everything just costs money. What used to be free sauces like ketchup and mustard and whatever, you're gonna need to start paying for it. And we're like starting to see that shit now. With the fucking paid sauces and whatever. I sort of can't be the only one that has to like, whenever you go to a fast food restaurant, you wanna add on another sauce, you gotta pay for that shit, you know? It doesn't come for free. I've been saying this all along. They like get you addicted. They give it out for free. You grow a dependency for it. And then after a couple of years, they make up some sort of excuse to take it away for free. But then they never bring it back for free because they're just starting to make too much money off of it. It's the Lorax all over again. It is the Lorax all over again. Like, this shit's true. The corporates can't keep getting away with this. Except they can, because we're gonna pay regardless. You already have to pay for it? That's what I'm saying. We've come to the future. The future that I predicted would have been here 10 years from now has already come. Like, do their greed know no bounds? I'm pretty sure the sauce is already included in the price, even if you didn't ask for it. Maybe. Honestly, maybe. I can see that being the truth. You know, all these companies that say like, oh, we're including this for free inside of with every order, like a sauce or a toy in every box. No, that shit is actually more expensive because they're including the cost of that inside of the package, you know? It's all a scam. It's all just like marketing scams. All right, what are we doing here? The action input this is the input or the response from JEISON under action. So this would be something like, I want to search the internet for how to make an AI VTuber. So we need to send this to an LLM, and we need to give this LLM context for how to perform the tool calling and whatnot. So let's OpenAI, this is our OpenAI reasoning LLM. We need to give this the user prompt. So this is going to be user prompt. No, system prompt, user prompt. System prompt, user prompt. And the self.json schema. JSON schema, this is what we have, right? The JSON schema. Yes. I need to first check though if the length of clients is equal to 0. If there's nothing, then we shouldn't even be doing this call in the first place, right? If this is equal to 0, we're going to return some sort of default message. Return self dot no action message. And we're going to create whatever this is later. But if we do pass that, we want to take the system prompt to equal something. The user prompt will equal user prompt is equal to action prompt. So we're just going to put that here. And then the JSON schema, that's completely fine, right? I also need this to equal to none by default, just so we can use it without forcing the use of a JSON schema. Right. The big questions in the 21st century: how can I scam the stupid customers to pay more and more? Yes, peak capitalism. Okay, I thought my thought got entirely derailed for a second. Action prompt, and then we'll make this a template. Dot format self dot or self dot action prompt tool description tools description tools description tools description tools description. There we go. We'll need a action prompt, and this needs to be some sort of template. Action message, yes, yeah. Step 1 to being a chatter in limit chat or limit stream is to derail him. It's not your fault, it's my fault, because I have like such a shitty ability to pay attention and to remember what I'm doing. I am known for having absolute goldfish memory amongst my friends. Anybody who knows me personally or has known me for like a couple of years will tell you that I am like disassociated with so many things. Okay. Does any of include at least one or minimum one or some sort of maximum? I don't know. Because if this is an empty array, if it sends back in an empty tool call array, then that should be fine. Tool calls is equal to JSON.loadS from the tool calls. No, tool calls. Tooling response. Thank you,
Fakesin_08 is now following.
Thank you, Fakesin, for the follow. Make code microbits? I have never heard of that in my life, to be honest. Dot choices 0 dot message dot content. I believe this is what it is, right? Oh wait, no. We get back the straight up string because this is our own implementation. Step 2 is gamble. Spoken like a true limit Twitch chatter. Hey, to remember something new, you have to make space for it. The brain is auto garbage collector. My garbage collecting threshold is too high. It's like consuming everything, including my own conscious thought. It's like whenever I'm doing the content react streams, I keep fumbling my words, not because, okay, well, partially it's because I don't know how to fucking read properly, but it's like I just lose myself in the text and I can't remember what I was reading. I have a project and I'm struggling here. Well, first of all, it's good to struggle, you know? You gotta learn from your struggles. But second of all, I don't know how many people here actually want to code right now. I feel like most of them are just playing Peak. I don't know, what is make code microbit even about? If length of tool calls tools is equal to 0, then we also return the no action, right? Right, schema tools is an array, yep. We are not playing Peak right now? Damn, this is the first time I've seen you guys all week not playing Peak. I'm pretty sure you just get more stressed with being live on Twitch and people watch you. No. You should see me off stream. You should see I am just as incapable off stream as well. I'll be in like a voice call and it'll take people sometimes like 3 calls of my name before I can register that I'm being called out. And then I like wake up from my trance in order to respond with a grunt to be like, what's going on? I am like, I just vegetate. I just turn into a vegetable. I go into idle mode, low power mode. Okay, so to get to this state, we need to have some tool calls here. And if you'll remember from the beginning of the stream, I mentioned that I want all of these to happen in parallel. This is possible because, well, this is going to be an asynchronous coroutine and each one of these occur in their own processes. So this is effectively multi-processed and can be parallelized. The whole iterative feedback loop with trying to build off of the results or using the previous results to call the next action, that's going to be handled by JE_Ison and the orchestrator itself, not necessarily the MCP manager, right? So with this tool call, we're going to generate a list of tools. So tool call row list, or no, tool call row list. We'll put this on the outside. This is just going to be a list. And we're going to append to the tool call list each of the coroutines. So self.clients, we're going to call out the tool call server, MCP, the server. Wait, what's the format? We have server tool input. we specified here the server, and this should only have one value for the respective tool. So we'll take the server. Where am I? Yes, we take the server. You select the correct client, and then we run this with the tool name being tool call tool, as well as the actual tool input. Tool call input. And hopefully this should work. The only thing I'm not sure of is if this input schema is actually correct for what OpenAI can use. I'm assuming it is because this is the bog standard MCP library. So with OpenAI's package being like one of the most popular AI interfacing libraries, and with MCP being one of the most popular tooling libraries, I'm hoping that they should comply well with each other. I have no clue though, I am just hoping. So this is going to create a coroutine and store the list, but it's not going to actually run this function yet. Once we've processed all of the tools that the LLM has chosen to call, then we're going to use async IO to gather all of these. So import async IO. We don't need urllib, we don't need that, we don't need list. And with this, we can call dot gather on the spread out the coroutine list. Once this all finishes, we should be good. Future await. Await. This returns back a list, so result list. We'll get back all of them. Entire result list. More tools in this tool call, we don't really care. I mean, we should throw this into a try except block on its own. Yes, we'll throw this in a try except block on its own, and we'll ignore the rest of that. We shouldn't be getting errors in terms of a tool not existing or some sort of invalid JSON, as long as it complies with the JSON we're supposed to get from the schema. The result list here, we're going to gather it, and we're going to get all of the results from the result list. Then we're going to ask OpenAI once again to summarize all of the contents from the results. So, trying to think of how to do this. I want to give OpenAI, or whatever model I'm using, the context or what each of these tools are, a description of the tool, and then a label of the tool and the actual result. So with result list here, if result list is none, we're once again going to return no action. This is just redundancy, even though it really should have results. 4. User gather literal and return exceptions false. False. Oh, we should do return exceptions equals true. Return exceptions is equal to true. That way we can actually get the contents of the exceptions. Now, for result in result list, I want to build out the user input for this. So the response user in. What is this going to look like? We need, first of all, the tool name. So I'm hoping that it should be 1 for 1 in order. What we're going to do is, actually, we're going to zip this together. Take the list, and we're going to zip this with tool call tools. Now, what this is going to do is basically give us a new tuple to get the pairing of the tool at index I with the result at index I. So this is going to be details and results. So this, we can just say details.name and have this be details.name. This is a dictionary with server or tool. Server, tool. What is the description? What does this look like? Tool prompt. Whatever. Whatever. We're just gonna say tool, and then the result of it will be from result. And then new line. That's going to be our user input. Our system input is just going to be another templated prompt. Action prompt. Action result prompt dot format with self tool description. There we go. We need another one of these.
The most based of all based.
Yo, coming down after the day of the coronavirus, the most based of all based. It's crazy that the coronavirus is still going. And it's like, I feel like it's pretty common. I still hear people getting corona all the time. It's almost like common cold 2.0. Yes, okay. Now we can use, oh my god, return self open AI. We can use this to call upon OpenAI to summarize and do the summarization task for us, and we can return that result. Await on this. Did we await on the other self OAIs as well? Because this is asynchronous. No, we did not. Let's do that really quick. Is there anything else that we need to await? I don't think so. Closing this is fine. Yup. Okay, I think this is all complete. I mean, besides the fact that we don't actually have a prompt yet, let's exclude you for a second. We have send the tool calling LLM and get the JSON with tools array. We've done that. For each tool in the tools array, we've selected the right server to use. We called that tool, and all the tools are parallelized. That is correct. And summarize the results and return the summary back, or return default message if no tools were called. That is also done. So yeah, we've completed all of that. We don't even need this pattern anymore because we're just using straight up JSON. That also speeds things up quite a bit because regex is kind of slow. Is there anything else though? I don't think. Is there any edge cases here that we need to handle? I don't think we need to try except if there's an error, then it will return the error inside of the result list, right? We can do the check here, that's all okay. As for the tooling prompt, select view, word wrap. This is our current tooling prompt, right? Let's see what we have here. You are calling tools based on the user inputs to gather more information, to enrich role-playing response, and perform relevant actions. Only reply with the appropriate tool calls and nothing else. This is describing it. Honestly, we don't need this. It doesn't need to be this wordy anymore. Because, okay, first of all, no action response. No action was performed. Okay, that's fine. Action prompt. This action prompt needs to take the action input, so the response from JEISON, and instruct the LLM to take the user input and turn it into a series of tool calls. So what we can say is you are generating a tool calls or tool calls to fulfill the user's intent. The user will input what they want to do, and you will make use of the tools described later in this system prompt to perform, to call all of the relevant tools that will be executed in parallel. Here are the tools. What does the tool description even look like? Tool prompt, MCP to tool prompt. We have the name in here, okay. Okay. We need to describe what the tooling description looks like so we can better understand it. The name of the tool will be in between these brackets. And the description for what the tool does will be in the same line. It will be followed by a description of the JSON schema of its input, followed by the JSON schema for its input. For example, I'm actually going to make this a multi-line. For example, search internet. Search the internet based on a query. And then where is input schema? This is the schema for blah blah blah. This is the schema for search internet, and then we have the schema here. Eldor's going ham with the channel points. All right, where is JISIN? The MCP server here should have an example of what the JSON schema should look like. If I come over to MCP here, manager, the actual prompt. Yeah, we don't have it here. /u/ this example shows a tool called search internet, which can be used to search the internet based on a query. And then the input schema is provided below. Provided on the next line. Or no. Here are the tools and then a new line, and we give it all of them. Yes, okay. This is the action prompt. Doesn't need to be as complicated. We're just telling it that, yeah, you're going to be generating tool calls. We don't actually need to specify what the structure of its tool, of its output should look like because of our JSON schema. Our JSON schema will constrain the output such that no matter what, despite the randomness of LLMs and their ability to generate any kind of text it wants, its output must conform to the result, to the structure we've specified here. Otherwise, it's invalid, right? And so we can pretty much always guarantee we're going to get a JSON output of the schema of the format that we're expecting. And so we don't actually need to worry about describing what it should look like here. As for the action prompt, what are we going to put for you? 2, 3, 2. We can say you are summarizing the results of a batch of tool calls. A description of each tool and its purpose is given here. And then we can just give the tools. That should be enough. Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Include details about every single tool, every single result, and error. A description of each tool is given here. That happened in parallel. I don't think this is really necessary, actually. Batch of tool calls, there you go. So we have our no action response, we have our action prompt, we have our action result prompt. I think this is it for the MCP manager. Do we need to change anything for the MCP client? I don't think we need to change anything for the MCP client either. I honestly think this is it. I don't even have a tool. I just realized I don't even have an MCP server in which I can test this yet, because the Discord, the Twitch, and the YouTube Studio MCP servers that I have right now, none of them work because they need the entire application to be working before I can actually finish them off, because they have some dependencies there. But besides that though, I think this is all complete. Of course, this is not going to be tested. I don't think I'm going to be testing it this stream either, because we've already been here for 2.5 hours. But. Oh shoot, we still need to make this fucking MCP interface. Oh god. Okay, you know what? No, this is gonna be fine. This is gonna be fine. Yes, this is gonna be easy. Let's just finish this up. Let's just finish the fast API interface. Give it a test run. We're not gonna test it with any servers. We're just gonna see if we can get the default no actions response. And if so, then we can just call it for today. So from model.mcp client import MCP manager. The MCP manager, is this a singleton? MCP manager, no, this is not meta class. Equals singleton, so we don't multiple instantiate it. Call the MCP manager like so. And that should be fine, right? No, we need to start it. Dot start. Go to MCP manager. We create it, we connect to OpenAI, and then we start it, we connect to everything. That's all okay, right? Once we've started it, this health check is fine. MCP.
Limit. Any dating
client
advice?
server. Any dating advice? Just talk to people. Yeah. What, are you expecting to come to a fucking programmer who's making an AI waifu for dating advice? Nah, bro. I'm not going to comment any further on that. MCP manager server. MCP manager, check if MCP manager server is working, status okay, yeah. Generation request, call you action request actually, action request. This is going to contain the, let's just be consistent and say content. Right, content. And with this, pass this here, generate, yes, generate. Generate with, or no, action. Perform actions based on the action input. return results of tool calls. Or, yes, perform tool calls based on action and return results of tool calls. This will take MCP manager and actually call on it. Right, this is what the spec looks like. Use. I'll just replace you with call. Yes, await on that. Wait, ah shit, I was doing it the wrong one, wasn't I? Where is it? Oh, okay. Content, yes, and that's all okay. Rest of this doesn't need to be here. I might add configuration later, but for now it is fine. Yeah, is this fine? We're gonna get the content back. I'll just say result is equal to this, and then I'll return the actual JSON, which will say content, and this will say results. All right. Check health, warm up, that's all okay. I think that is everything. Now, of course, we're not going to test it with proper servers here. I'm in fact going to comment that out. I'll figure out what to put in here later. And I also need to figure out what I can put for timeout if I don't want it to time out. In fact, no, I do want it to time out. But I'll put something here for command args current working directory for each of these three later on when I work on this off stream. But right now I just want to test the MCP client server. So python/source/MCP client server config will equal to config/dev.yaml. Okay, if this works first try, thank the fucking Lord. Please. The things I would do just for this to finish right here, right now. Fuck. Huh? Ah, yes, you see? Okay, to all of you who were flaming me yesterday for using dot format, look at this shit. Look at this shit. This is where f-strings just go wrong. This is why I use dot format. Dot format is officially superior. You heard it here. Dot format. Oh my fucking god. No, where am I? Okay, dot format here. And result. F-strings are not superior. Where else do I use F-strings? F, quotation. Here, that should be fine. That should be fine, that should be fine. There we go, it's starting, it's starting. Did it start? Oh, it probably did start. Click, /docs. Yes, there we go. First of all, we need to warm up. Internal server error. Well, shit. What happened? The API key client option must be set to by either passing API key or by setting the open AI API key. I thought I set this. env dev.env. I swear I said this. Okay, hold on. I need to not leak anything really quickly. Did I put it in here? Yes, I did. OpenAI API. Oh, it's key, not token. All right, close that. No leaks this time. Y'all aren't getting my phone number. Y'all are getting my real info. Y'all aren't stealing my OpenAI credits, okay? All right, run again. Refresh. Try it out. Warm up. Fuck. Config get missing one attribute field. Model. Right, and I need to actually specify model here. We're just gonna say GPT-4o, my old reliable. Retry again. Status okay. This time it worked and we didn't get anything. Oh my fucking god. Oh wait, hold on. Oh wait. All right, try again. Warm up, try out, execute. Status okay. Everything seems fine here. Now, health check. This is a nothing burger. Yeah, that's fine. All right, /action. This is the real one. Let's say I want to search the internet. Let's see if it's capable of being like, yeah, no, you can't do that because we have no tools loaded. I want to search the internet. Limit, I'm for real thinking of bidding on the Neurocar. Brother, think of your financial choices. I want to search the internet for how to make an AI VTuber. All right. Oh my god. Wow, thanks for the pipe, guys. It's been a while. Send. All right, no action was performed. That's good. I actually, let's modify this a little bit so that we can actually get to the OpenAI tool calling part. Right? I want to be able to print out. What did you say? The tool calls that we do get and see if it conforms to the structured response. So temporarily, we'll comment this out. We'll restart the server. We'll warm it up again. What have you done? We just need a little bit of hypes in our lives, you know? Variety is the spice of life, yes. All right, start this, okay. Try this again. Looks like, Ew. Oh, this is really bad. Async completions got an unexpected keyword argument JSON schema. That is very bad. Please don't tell me I can't actually use JSON schema here. Where's OpenAI? Structured. Final schema. Text format. Text format. Text format, text format, text format. Define your schema, supply your schema into API call. Text is equal to. Oh, okay. This is fine. Wait, how the fuck do I define your schema? Is that a JSON? And then supply it like so. Okay. Yes. That technically means we don't need strict if we did specify anywhere. No, we didn't. That's okay. And when we call it, it should be inside of here. So text, we'll move that up to here, to JSON schema. JSON schema, reasoning LLM. JSON schema, text is equal to JSON schema. Okay. Otherwise, let's take you and replace whatever is supposed to be in schema here. Set this to true, and that should be good. Format, type, true, yes. All right, this seems to be good. Response output text. Responses create. I can just do responses create. Oh, wait. Because I'm using the chat functionality here when I can just use responses create. And then I can just return output text. This makes a lot more sense. Okay. Restart the server. Try again. I don't want to leak memory, so... Where is... Fast API? Can I execute this without having to restart? Or am I going to get a codes error? Okay, status okay. And... Come on. I want to search the internet for how to make an AI VTuber. Taking time. Oh.
See ya tomorrow limit. Gonna go sleep, it's midnight.
Alright, have a good sleep, Fire Eagle. Missing required parameter, text format name. What? I swear there was something inside of the documentation here saying to use structured outputs as opposed to, or response format as opposed to text here. There was like a debate. JSON mode, yes, yes. Output valid JSON. Adheres to schema, no. We want structured outputs. However, structured outputs with response formats is only available for 4.0 mini, etc. Response format, response format. Response format. Response format. We'll replace text with response format. How about that? And what does it look like? Format. Type JSON schema. Use structured outputs. Simply specify. But how to use outputs with text.format. This ain't working for me. Text format schema. Schema being that. The first request you make with any schema will have additional latency as our API processes the schema, and that's okay. Responses create. What? This is correct. Missing parameter. Okay, let's give this to Gemini and see what it says. I am getting this error when I try to call OpenAI as follows. Where JSON schema is up. Go. Do your thing. The error you're encountering is likely due to the invalid structure in the response format parameter and how OpenAI's API handles certain schema keywords like any of in strict mode. Based on the official documentation and community discussions, the response format parameter should be structured as a JSON object with type, JSON schema, and nested JSON schema. Type, JSON schema, JSON schema. Strict true. Based on the official documentation. To resolve this, I will create the correct schema. Yeah. Okay, we'll try this. So type, JSON schema, JSON schema. Add that to there. We'll have strict true, and then the actual schema. Conic Wolf says, you should make YouTube video when you're done with your AI VTuber. Hear me out, the idea is you make another AI VTuber from scratch, but you use AI to help you and give each AI a set time, like 24 hours to make like Copilot, GPT, Grok. I'm gonna be spending 72 hours making, okay, I was thinking of an idea similar to that, but not 24 hours and not making an AI VTuber with 3 different fucking LLMs. Because one, I am not a supporter of vibe coding, right? I am not a supporter of vibe coding, despite being an AI dev. And 2, my idea for it was just to make a website using it. Not over the course of 24 hours, because like that's fucking too long. I want to be able to actually make shit for JAISN and not spend all day every day fucking coding other shit. Yeah. I don't know. If I'm gonna do a vibe coding video is probably gonna be for making a website for JAISN and controlling JAISN, as opposed to, well, 24-hour challenges. Limit, you should give me money. How about when we start making money? Alright, let's restart this, give it a try again. Hopefully this new structure should work. Just reorganize this really quick. There we go. I'm not gonna hit save just yet. Let's come over. Did it start? Yes, the server started. We're going to execute. No cores? Yes. Okay, no cores. And execute here. Whoops. This is meant to be text. Restart. Off me, Lux, and Shadow. So we're just circulating money now. Like, I'm not against the idea of paying my mods. It's just that I don't have enough money to actually reasonably pay you guys right now. Like, you need to remember the amount that I get from Twitch is like maybe 30%. I'm not sure how much I get from Twitch, to be honest. But it's like, if this becomes my full-time job, then sure, I'll pay you guys, maybe. Just an idea. I like watching your vids, even if this is my first live stream. That's nice to hear. I actually have a lot of vids that have planned right now, but I just haven't had the time or the means to publish because, well, a lot of things need to finish first before I can actually publish them. And I'm currently working on like 7 different videos at the same time right now. So they're all taking a long ass time, as well as the fact that I don't want to really focus on making videos until this whole 20 days thing is finished. So what the fuck? Why? Why? Now I'm getting this. I don't even know if it's the same error or if it's a different error. I don't want to fucking spend too much time debugging this. What could possibly be the problem though? You're doing good, Limit. Don't worry about the numbers. Just worry about having fun and make the best content you can. Yeah, no, I'm like not worried about the numbers. It's just like I don't want to feel like I have 10 million things on my plate, aka 10 million videos that I want to make, and in the process of making, because the more and the longer that I spend making these videos, the harder that it is to actually make the final video, right? I was originally going to make a video about prompting and all the things that I learned about prompting specifically for models like Gemini and ChatGPT, all of these different chat models, and trying to go in depth into what prompting really is. But after spending like 5 days trying to look through like 400 hours of footage to find relevant clips, because this isn't something that I just learned in one stream, it's something that I've gone tips and iterated over my entire time refactoring JEISON. After looking through all those clips, after making like 7 different scripts, 5 different recordings, and then drafting the video like 2 different times, I just looked at it and was just like, you know, this video is pretty shit. I don't want to publish this video because I myself am not happy with it, and I feel like it would make more sense to combine it with another video that's coming out in the future. But that video that's coming out in the future, well, there's still a lot of work to be done for it in terms of coding, not even just like video editing and whatnot. All right, that's a very specific error. It looks like this issue is coming from your messages array, how your messages array is structured. How? Roll. How? What? Messages, content, not the response format this time. Unknown parameter, text type, not text type, type text. Input. Input is equal to messages, models equal to models, and response format is equal to JSON schema. The messages have the role user, and please generate this off of the content role, user prompt schema. Where is the correct file? Eh? What the fuck? I honestly don't know what is wrong here. Okay, try one more time with this variation. I didn't even change anything, to be honest. I just love how relatable that is. I'm trying to make my AI VTuber my VTuber model work a full-time job and want to make content with friends. You know how it goes. The list of stuff never stops. Yeah, the list of stuff never stops. Once you give yourself work, you fill up your time with work, right? Once you're passionate about something, that's just kind of how it goes. So no matter how big or small the task, you'll always find yourself busy. And even if you keep giving yourselves tasks, you'll find that you'll actually be able to cram more tasks into your day because you're trying to do other tasks in a shorter amount of time, right? To fit it all within the same time frame, right? So even if you give yourself more tasks, less tasks, if you're passionate about something, it's going to take up all your time regardless. Text type, unknown parameter, text type. Text type, text type, text type, text type. Type, JSON schema. Oh my god. Why? Okay, what does this even say? The format, this format is different from what they're explaining here. They're using responses parse, response parsed, responses form create, using text.format. Wait, how to use structured outputs with text.format? What text.format here? Input schema, name, math response, schema, object, explanation, final answer, required properties. What the? Text format, text format, type. How is that any different from when to use this via text.format? God. Text format, JSON calendar, parse. Structured outputs is available in our largest models starting with 4.0. Older models like 4.0. Oh my god, oh my god. Okay, structured outputs versus JSON mode. Structured outputs is an evolution of JSON mode. While both ensure valid JSON is produced, only structured outputs ensure the schemas are tiered. Yeah. Responses API, chat completions API, fine-tuning batching. We recommend always using structured outputs instead of JSON mode when possible. However, structured outputs with response is only supported with how the hell do I use this? Compatible mode, structured with response format, JSON schema. Oh, okay, we're starting a new chat with Gemini. How do I pass a JSON to be used as structured output or an OpenAI completion? JSON object. The response format should be an object with key type set to JSON object. But type doesn't exist, and response formats, we have response format here. Response formats, we have an example here. Model, you know what, we'll just go back to using this. Chat, completions, create with messages equal to messages. Yeah, response format, type, JSON object, brr. The model's response will be a string that contains valid JSON object. I have my own case. I want to use structured outputs and not JSON mode. Tool choices, yeah. Cool calls, this is not what I'm looking for. Fuck you. Response format, JSON schema. JSON schema is JSON schema, JSON schema, JSON schema. I had to give in. I gave in and had to commission some work, and you know what? I'm glad I did. I'm coming back for a long break and stream soon, and I wouldn't be able to shoot for the date I'm going for without them. Yeah, I mean, outsourcing the work, especially the ones that you have like absolutely zero experience in, makes the most sense a lot of the time, right? Like, there's no way I'm gonna be fucking learning art for a project at AI Sin, right? I would just be going to VGen or wherever, commissioning an artist to get all my assets. Like the stream schedule, the stream overlay, everything you see here, none of this was created by me. This was all created by my usual go-to artist for these sort of things, Limon, Limon. I think I have him linked somewhere. I don't get why this is so broken. JSON schema, self.json schema. Type object, type to JSON object. You get it? You get it? Yeah. What I don't get is why the fuck this isn't working. Oh. No, this is not the right one. We'll give it a try. Format, JSON schema. Completions. Parse. Response format. Formats. Type, name, strict. Type, JSON schema. Name, strict, and this is format. Type, name, strict. Type, name, strict, and then schema. We don't care about the name, do we? We'll give it a name. Tooling response. All right, restart just in case. Now, let's try it again. Execute. Okay. Execute. Oh my god. Type. Brother, is there documentation out of date? What am I looking at? Why is this not working? Missing required parameter. Response format dot type. Type. JSON schema. Why? Missing required parameters. Response format dot type. It's like it needs type here. I hate this. I hate this. Why does this not work? Oh, string restrictions. Schema, name, strict, true, yeah. What if I just get rid of all of you and say, yeah, what if I just get rid of all of you and say, fuck you? Wait, I still need that though. Fuck you. I'm sure this will work now. Right, I doubt it. Okay. Please. Supported values, invalid value object. supported are JSON object, JSON schema, text. Okay, well that clearly didn't work. The very first thing should be type. Type JSON schema. Not JSON object, we want JSON schema, because it's a schema. Run. Okay. Run. Oh. Invalid request, param, missing parameter, response format, JSON schema. JSON schema. Okay, we're just going through this one by one. I am actually fucking suffering here. Yeah. This is so painful, man. Debugging JSON has to be one of the worst things. All right, here we go. Invalid schema for response format, tooling response. Wait, tooling response should be non-empty. What? What? Any of. Oh, it's empty. Fuck. Any of. Fuck, what am I? If this is. This is a pain. This is a pain. Okay, though, this works now. The only problem is that, well, tool schema list is an empty array, right? It's an empty array and it does not like that. So I'm just gonna comment you out and say the items are... What the fuck is I putting for this? Description, array, items. You know what? Any of. Any of We'll put a mock one in here. How about that? Creating mock data is so annoying. Okay, this will say test server, test tool, and the input schema. We're just not even going to include this. Right? Okay. Hopefully this actually works now. Status okay. Execute. Oh, invalid schema for response. Format, tooling response, test tool. Is this not an enum? How the fuck do I specify an enum? Enum. Yes, this is what the enum should be. Oh, never mind, it shouldn't. Yes, okay, my bad. This is a type of string. And we bleed for our crafts, now suffer for the content. Blood for the blood god. Oh my god. AI devs becoming Satanists. The things we do for our AI waifus. Enum. I'm gonna call this enum test server. And the same thing for this test tool. Okay, if this works, then we'll need to do a little bit of replacing. This is meant to be an F string, actually. And I am going to get rid of these. You don't need these. Warm up. Status okay. Execute. Array is not valid under any of the given schemas. This is annoying. This is so fucking. I knew this stream was gonna be annoying. I didn't think it would be this annoying. Check properties, server tool. Invalid schema for response format. Tooling response. Array is not valid under any of the given schemas. Is it not called array? Not called array. Type array is always lowercase. It's always fucking lowercase. Okay. Try again. Okay, we got a different error. Invalid schema in response format, tooling response in context, properties, tools, items, any of 0. Required is required to be supplied. And to be an array including every key in properties. Missing server, type, what? Missing server. Does the server need to be there? I guess server does need to be there actually. But is it not possible to have optional? Any of 0. I'm so confused. Any of the very first one. Required is required. To be supplied, yes. In this very first one. Required is supplied. And be an array including every key in properties. Every key in properties. That is a little bit much. Fine. You know what? Fine. Restart you. Because this should be good now. And once again, warm up and execute. Chat completion has no attribute. Oh, it worked. It worked. Oh my fucking god. Choices, 0, messages, dot. What was it? Messages dot content. Choice has no attribute. Messages, message. Execute. Run. Oh! Error, test server. Okay, and the result we got back is tools, with server being test server and tool being tool. We did it. Oh my fucking god, we did it. Holy fuck. Oh, that was so annoying. Debugging the JSON through their fucking error messages is the worst. We're adding that back. If clients is equal to 0, no message, because that is what we actually want to happen. But we need to fix this up a little bit. Predominantly over here, this needs to be an enum string, taking in MCP name, Same thing over here, but this takes in tool name. And inputs will be the input schema. I still need to test this out because we didn't get it from an actual MCP server. And I don't know if the MCP server spec that they return for the JSON schema is appropriate for what we have here. But tool name, tool description, all of this should be fine. We also need to include server inside of here for some dumb reason. And I think that's it. I think that's it. That is in fact it. All right. There we fucking go. That took way too long to fucking debug. But we got something working. We aren't going to end test this. I need to finish up some of the other MCP servers before I actually get around to testing the MCP client here. But I think this is a good place to leave it off. It's been 3.5 hours. I need to go eat dinner. Yeah. Anyways, thank you all so much for coming out. I am surprised we got as far as we did and managed to actually complete this MCP manager. Goes to show you actually do learn a thing or two once you actually have some experience with it. Yeah. I am gonna head off now. Enjoy the rest of your days. I will be back next week with another 3 streams. We'll probably like take it a little bit slower because we finished. Oh wait. I keep thinking today is a Friday. No, today's a Thursday. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to be making the actual application that brings all of these microservices together. So Llama, Whisper, everything is going to be coming together alongside all of the MCP servers to make a full AI personality end-to-end that works. Yeah. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your days. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.